I would like the community to know that BackStoppers is there for the people that serve them and their families so that they can keep doing what they're doing.
Every time that money is given to BackStoppers, you're helping someone like me, or worse. I was one of the lucky ones. I walked away from my incident, but there are so many other families that the officer doesn't get to walk away. And now the family is burdened with this huge financial cost that they weren't thinking about.
Anyone who values family and wants to support first responders in their community, the BackStoppers is a no-brainer.
St. Charles County is a very tight-knit community, and we love our first responders. We want to bring that awareness of what BackStoppers does for first responders and their families out to this county. We want to increase engagement in St. Charles County. We want to start having fundraising events out here. 100% of our proceeds go to BackStoppers. It's run by the overall BackStoppers organization, completely transparent. All of our accounting, everything is done through BackStoppers.
BackStoppers is an organization that was formed in 1959. We currently cover 25 counties, 15 in Missouri and 10 in Illinois, serving 95 families, which includes 75 children. And since our inception in 1959, we've assisted over 180 families during that time. We pay out $2.5 million every year in benefits to survivors. So the support of the community is imperative to what we do.
There's such a high risk involved in any first responder that dies that just knowing this is just kind of like it's just like a blanket of security, knowing that their family will be taken care of if something should happen.
I asked my 4-year-old what she thought of this job, and she said she was really sad that I'm in danger at work, but she's also really glad that I help people.
Police officers, every time they come on duty or frankly leave their house in uniform, it's an inherent risk, whether it's just performing what seems like simple functions like stopping vehicles are dangerous because they're always walking up on unknown situations, unknown who's in the car and what's in the car, and the type of calls we go to, such as domestic violence calls, and there's risk in everything a police officer does.
I was responding to a call of another officer who had stopped a vehicle. During the course of our investigation, this vehicle decided that they no longer wished to talk with us, and they decided to take off. Unfortunately, I was in a dangerous path, and they did not see fit to miss me. Instead, they went ahead and hit me with their vehicle, smashing me into my vehicle.
Some of the dangers we face are going to a call where anything could happen, and we don't know what we're going to face. People are in some kind of dire circumstance or an emergency. It might be a mental health issue, or it might be some kind of head injury where they might be combative or violent even if they don't mean to, and there might be weapons, or we just don't know what we're facing.
We also face a lot of dangers on the highway. It's one of those things where we're focused on our patient and the call and what's going on, and not necessarily the traffic going on around us.
I vividly remember the moment I was notified of my husband's accident. It was 3:23 in the morning. Me and the kids were sound asleep, and I heard a knock at the door. I don't typically get knocks at the door at that time, but that would have been the time my husband should have been coming home from work. So I kind of thought maybe he got locked out of the house. So I immediately got up and I looked out through our half moon window through the front door, and I saw an officer in uniform that I knew very well. I opened the door and he kind of pushed slightly in and told me that Grant was in an accident, and I immediately just went into okay, let's go. Where do we gotta go? What do we gotta do? And then he paused for a minute and said, Annette, he's not okay. He didn't make it. So at that point, I remember just kind of dissociating from my body and just kind of falling to the ground.
Whenever I was crushed into my car, it shattered my pelvis, breaking it in 4 to 5 places. She also proceeded to run over my left ankle, which broke it. And there's a lot of attributed pelvic injury, internal damages whenever your pelvis gets crushed.
Immediately after the funeral, a few days later, they came to the house and kind of assessed all of my bills and debt that we had. And they were making the house payment. They paid off some debt that we had. They paid for a lot of the therapies that my son was needing because he was special needs. And then they also provided us health insurance since I ended up quitting my job to stay home with the kids. It allowed me to do that in a way that I could, be there for them.
I've got an officer that works for me now that his father was killed in the line of duty in St. Louis City, and I saw he was a young man at the time, and I saw what the organization did for him. And he's a flourishing police officer just like his father was.
Well, I was only 3 years old when my dad passed away. He was killed in the line of duty working on the DEA task force. They were doing a surveillance mission, and the helicopter he was riding in crashed in Jefferson County. For me personally, some of the assistance that the BackStoppers have provided me, I had really messed up teeth when I was little. The BackStoppers was able to fund and assist for my mom to pay for orthodontics so I can have braces, and now I don't have messed up teeth.
I was in the hospital laying in bed, and next thing I know, a check arrives from BackStoppers of $10,000.
Another way that the BackStoppers assisted my family was every Thanksgiving, a member of the board would come and visit my family and check in on us. And little did I know that at the same time they were giving my mom 3 checks for her to buy Christmas presents for my 2 brothers and I.
It's changed our lives and what I can provide for my children, including for their future.
I think I could speak for all first responders. What BackStoppers does for us is provides a safety net for our family.
If something were to happen to me in the line of duty, I do feel confident that BackStoppers would step in and be a support for my family.
First responders, we risk everything for the public. We put the public's needs above our own. And that's a really hard choice if you have a family to take care of. I mean, who's gonna pay their bills if I die, right? So BackStoppers is that safety net. It's the thing that is in the back of our mind, letting us know that they're gonna be taken care of if I die trying to save someone else. And because of that, I can perform at my best for the public.
Not only the financial piece, but the emotional support.
If you have business owners who want to get involved or individuals who want to donate, they can do so through backstoppers.org. That's the website. All the money goes to BackStoppers. It goes to support these families of fallen first responders.
There's really something that is just so small and so simple that can have such a profound lifetime effect for the families that are being supported by it.
Anytime that we've got an event, we're always happy to have volunteers, people who want to come out and work. But being involved also just means bringing your family out and supporting our events, having a good time, seeing what we've got going on, and getting more involved in the BackStopper community.
To my fellow first responders, become a BackStopper yourself and give back to this great organization. You can do so in 3 ways. First is payroll deduction. Ask your employer if they contribute to the BackStoppers biweekly through paycheck. Second is monthly contributions through the Sustaining Partner Program. For $10 a month, you can become a member of this organization. Third is the first responder membership. $100 annually gets you to become a BackStopper.